Hello and welcome to the first episode of The Final Whistle, official Surrey FA podcast. My name is James Major, and along with my co-host Athreya Rahman, we'll be bringing you an exciting new podcast series covering different stories from around grassroots football. In today's episode, we are pleased to be joined by Surrey FA referee Isaac Nsubuga. Isaac has taken the time to talk to us about his journey as a referee, Black History Month, the barriers he has faced, and what can be done to improve officiating for Black, Asian and minority ethnic, also referred to as BAME, individuals in football. Also featuring in today's episode is our Talk Footy segment, where we will review this week's results, goals and performances throughout the SFA leagues. We will also be bringing you Surrey Summarise, which will give updates on current activities and campaigns at Surrey FA. So, to kick things off, welcome Isaac. It's a pleasure to have you join us on the first episode of The Final Whistle.
Thank you, James. It's a pleasure for having me.
So, Isaac, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your current role in football?
So in football, currently, I am a referee. I'm a level 7 referee who started out in March of 2022.
Great. I've heard that you've been refereeing a range of matches from Academy, Combined County and Vitality FA Cup, is that correct?
Yes, that is true.
It's great that you've had the opportunity to referee these games and travel across the country. Out of interest, what's the furthest game you've had to travel to?
I would say the furthest match I've gone to is up in Leicester.
Oh, wow.
I had a tournament with a number of teams where we stayed in a hotel for about 2 days.
Wow, that must have been a great experience for someone who's only been in refereeing for a short period of time. So, in terms of you've refereed Vitality FA Cup matches, how did this opportunity come about for you? You must be quite proud to be refereeing at that standard in such a short period of time.
Well, when I joined as a referee, I believe I was very fortunate to meet a lot of people around me, such as Craig Hicks, Harry Ellen, and Helen as well. And what happened is I was given the opportunity to do a Vitality FA Cup by Harry Ellen, and which allowed me to see myself in the Vitality FA Cup the next weekend.
Oh, fantastic. For those of our listeners who are unaware, Craig Hicks and Harry Ellen are part of our referee development team here at Surrey FA. So, as you mentioned, you only started in March 2022. So, could you tell us a little bit about what your journey has been like so far?
I would say the journey has been quite steady. I would say there's a lot of ups and downs. However, there is a lot of benefits to refereeing, as you've seen, with the travel and the opportunity to see a lot of great high-intensity football through the academies and combined counties as well.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So for our listeners who may not know, we're currently celebrating Black History Month across October. This month brings an opportunity to celebrate the contributions, achievements and the influence of Black people and those from historically underrepresented ethnic communities. Isaac, what are your thoughts on this? And do you think Black History Month is doing enough?
When it comes to refereeing, I would say there is definitely an obvious shortage of ethnic communities participating at the higher level of refereeing, such as the Premier League and the EFL. However, Black History Month has allowed us to notice this and make moves to modernise the ranks as a reflection of the community it represents.
Yeah, just expanding on your point there about the Premier League, surprisingly, research shows that in the 2019-20 season, there was not a single Black, Asian or minority ethnic referee in the Premier League. Additionally, there's only 2,000 BAME referees out of the 28,000 in the FA. Why do you think this is?
I believe this is a vicious circle, as to become someone you've never been, you need to do something you've never done. And something that hasn't been done is officiate at a very high level. And especially with younger referees from age 14 to 20, they don't really have someone to look up to, and which really harms their progression as role models compared to the footballers who see a lot of other people who are just like them and aspire to be just like them.
Yeah, I agree. Coming from my own experience as a 22-year-old and watching football over my entire lifetime, there's only one BAME referee that really comes to my mind, and that's Uriah Rennie from the early to mid 2000s. So I completely agree with your point there that the shortage of referees is in the FA is due to the lack of role models available. Did you have any inspirational figures yourself that inspired you to get involved with officiating?
I wouldn't say anyone in particular, but when I did join, I did see a number of people that have actually motivated me to continue and progress much better than I did before. One example is Sonny Jill. I met Sonny Jill and another few PGMOLs at a Breaking Barriers conference, which allowed me to really see that any struggles that I'm having, I'm not alone and it's not unique to me. And it's something that I can overcome and see at the light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, that's fantastic that you got to meet Sonny Jill. I saw that recently he officiated a EFL game between Northampton Town versus Hartlepool, therefore becoming the first British South Asian to referee an EFL game since his dad over a decade ago. You mentioned that he's a PGMOL. Could you expand on what a PGMOL is for our listeners and what they do?
From my understanding, a PGMOL is an acronym for Professional Game and Match Official. So these officials are usually from levels 3 and above, so from 3, 2s and 1s. And they usually officiate National League level football, such as the Premier League, the EFL and others.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Even my knowledge on that wasn't up to date. So one could argue that the shortage of referees is due to discrimination that unfortunately occurs usually due to a minority of people. As a young black referee yourself, has there been any barriers or discrimination that you've faced?
Well, when I first started as a referee, there were a cocktail of words thrown at me after matches, which can really fog up my creative lens. For example, one of the things that I was told is that you are the worst referee we've ever had. And that was in my second game, which came up as a surprise to me because sometimes as a player, you think you know what you know. And another time was from family and friends saying, this is not a typical route for people like us. Pretty much saying that, what are you doing? Pick a different route. This is not for us. You're not going to get anywhere. And stop wasting your time, pretty much.
Yeah, that's interesting you mentioned that. Well, as you're still in your officiating career now, did this input from your family have an adverse effect or actually motivate you to succeed?
I would say it quietly motivates me, to be honest. And it's a bit funny because as you become a referee, you do gain thicker skin and you kind of understand why crowds and people behave the way they behave. And if you look into psychology, it backs up. And one thing you can just do is to befriend those with similar interests and just know that not everyone has your best interests at heart.
Yeah, I agree. You mentioned there that, you've developed thicker skin whilst refereeing. How else have you managed to overcome the barriers or block out any of the negative noise that you face?
I believe it's finding the reason that you began and preparing for what's before a game. For example, speaking to people close to you and having your senses in check.
Yeah, I think it's great that you mentioned there, finding the reason that you began. I feel like that's crucial to anything you pursue in life. So what more do you think can be done to improve officiating opportunities for BAME individuals in grassroots football?
I believe that the FA could advertise refereeing a bit more because unless you really have an insight into refereeing, you will never know that there's an opportunity for you, and it's fairly easy to become a referee in this day and age.
Yeah, I agree that definitely more can be done for people to interact with referees and get involved with refereeing. Adding upon this, Surrey FA are running a referee CPD session on Thursday the 27th of October, and this is with EFL assistant referee Michael Webb, and it's all based on teamwork. So if you're a referee listening and looking for some personal development, then make sure you head to our website and sign up. But I believe there are only limited spaces remaining, so make sure you're quick. You might want to get in that one yourself, Isaac. So going back to opportunities, as we mentioned earlier, there aren't many BAME referees for people to aspire to be. And you could argue that this may particularly be an issue when it comes to the younger generation. What do you think could be done to inspire and get more children and young people involved?
I believe that referees should try to connect with the community a bit more. Usually before and after a game, you just see them for a brief moment and then they disappear on players and fans, etc. I believe that the FA can also help a bit more with the advertisement, connecting communities, probably advertising in schools, and making it a bit more well known.
Yeah, agreed. So, do you have any additional aspirations for the future of officiating? Maybe becoming an EFL referee like Surrey FA's own Craig Hicks?
Definitely, I do want to continue refereeing, probably make a name for myself. As I've seen referees like Craig Hicks, I see that it is obtainable and achievable. So probably in the next 10 years, I do see myself knocking on the door for the Premier League status.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm sure having someone like Craig around is incredibly motivating, especially, for example, when he's reffing games on the TV. It just shows where you can get with a little bit of hard work. So yeah, seeing you in the Premier League would definitely be incredible. I'm sure you'd become a very inspirational figure for many children aspiring to become a referee. So Isaac, thank you so much for sharing your journey, thoughts on Black History Month and what more could be done to improve the level of BAME referees. And all the best with your future endeavours in officiating.
Thank you very much.
If you are inspired by what Isaac has had to say today about his journey as a BAME referee in grassroots football, then please head over to our website to learn more about the opportunities available, or get in touch with our referee development officer Craig Hicks at craig.hicks@surreyfa.com. Additionally, if you're a coach and you want to advance your knowledge and awareness around race, Surrey FA and Danny Fenner, who is a coach development officer from the FA's grassroots delivery team, are holding a race relations workshop on Monday the 28th of November at Meadowbank Football Ground in Dorking. This will provide a secure environment for open dialogues regarding race. Listening and communicating are the first steps on the path to becoming a better organisation and individual. Therefore, we hope that learners in attendance will be empowered to make a positive change to impact grassroots football within Surrey for the better. So please head over to our website to find out more and sign up. It's time for Talk Footy, and I'm joined by Threya Rahman from SFA Football Development.
Hi James, thank you. Yeah, in this segment of the podcast, we will be bringing you a range of results, goals and performances throughout the SFA leagues that have taken place over these last 2 weeks. So we will start off with the Women's League results, followed by all the men's results.
Fantastic. Shall we kick things off with the Women's Flexi League?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the Southern Division, Bone Blades Wilds beat Belcombe Bells by 4-2. It was an interesting game and a good victory for them as well. And also, the fixtures for the Northern Division will be announced next weekend, so do look out for that.
Fantastic. I see that Cranley Women's Blues are currently sitting top of the table with 3 points from the first game and a nice healthy goal difference of +4. So, impressive. Right, let's now move on to the Surrey Enhanced Border Football League.
So in Division 1, a Dennis Foster hat-trick helped Guildford Albion beat Byfleet Town by 7-3. That's 4 wins out of 4 for Guildford Albion, and they are currently top of the league with 12 points. The next game was between Corinthian Guildford and Woking Weybridge, and they had a convincing victory as well by beating them by 4-1. And in Division 2, Guildford Galaxy suffered a huge defeat to Virginia Water Athletic. They lost 9-0. And Byfleet Town Reserves also lost 6-1 to Egham Stags, his first team. So it's a good victory for Egham Stags as well.
In the Division 1, Woking and Maybury are looking a bit woeful at the bottom there, so they'll be hoping to kick-start their season this next weekend. But Guildford Albion flying at the top there, level with Corinthian Guildford first, so they'll both be looking to continue their good streak of games. So, shall we now move on to the Surrey County Intermediate League Western?
Yeah, for sure. In the Premier Division, Queen's Park Rangers beat Hambledon by 5-1, and Cranley also had an impressive victory over Manacroft United, beating them 4-1. And Cranley are currently top of the league with 16 points, so it looks like they're off to a flying start this season.
Yeah, as you said, they're absolutely flying with a plus goal difference of 9, so a good start from them. But Merrow first are looking not on the good side down at the bottom there with a -8 goal difference and only the 2 points from the first 6 games. So they'll be certainly looking to make a start to their season at the next set of fixtures. We'll now move on to the Surrey Premier County Football League.
Yep, so there were a few good games here as well. The standout game would be between Battersea Ironsides and Hersham, where they won 4-2. A brace by William Chapman and Marlon Perrin helped them seal the victory. Also on Saturday, Staines and Lammas's game was abandoned. However, they are still top of the league with a game in hand. So these results round up the weekend's fixtures. There were a few interesting results, some heavy defeats as well for a few teams, but hopefully they can bounce back next week. So we shall move on to Surrey Sunrise.
In this segment, we will keep you up to date with current activities and campaigns from across Surrey FA. We will kick this off with the Unite Through Football campaign, which launched at the end of last month. Athreya, could you tell us a little bit more about this campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have seen a growing population of refugees within Surrey, and these are people who have had to leave their homes and families, often due to conflict, crisis, and violence, and therefore they want to seek a better life elsewhere. And in this process, it is also common for people to experience a large amount of hardship and trauma. So we wanted to create an offer that would give these individuals the opportunity to play football and also boost their mental health. To make this happen, Surrey FA have been working closely with Surrey Police and our accommodation supplier SBHL to help set up the Unite Through Football League. So this project consists of 3 pillars: a monthly refugee league to grow and develop more footballing opportunities, signposting to local clubs to embed refugees within pre-existing clubs, and also a workforce and education pillar to help upskill the refugees' knowledge and join the football workforce as potentially coaches, refugees, or even volunteers.
The Refugee League successfully launched on Tuesday the 20th of September with over 120 participants from 22 different nationalities. This included nationalities such as India, Ethiopia, Syria and Pakistan. This league is set to run monthly over the next 8 months. We would just like to mention a massive congratulations to our Senior Football Development Officer, Rob Bryant, and our EDI Officer, Evelyn Roberts, for their dedicated months of planning to deliver this event.
Yeah, for sure. A massive shout out to Rob and Eve for kickstarting this campaign. And also, if you want to work with refugees and would like to find out more about the Unite Through Football or are looking to get involved in grassroots football in Surrey, then please head over to our website and our social media channels for the details. We will be joined by both PC Elliot Hartley from Surrey Police and Awais Khan from SBHL, who helped support this campaign on the next episode of The Final Whistle. So stay tuned to hear more on this fantastic project.
Yes, absolutely brilliant. Moving on to our next update, Surrey FA have launched an E-World Cup tournament as we start to prepare for the 2022 World Cup this winter. If you're into gaming and football, you should definitely listen up. Could you tell us a little bit more, Threya?
Yeah, for sure. This is an exciting event that's going to take place soon. So the E-World Cup will look to provide grassroots clubs, players and volunteers with a chance to show their gaming skills whilst playing as an international team. So this tournament will consist of qualifying rounds that will take place online, and the finals day will be held at Meadowbank in December. And the winner will be awarded with a trophy and an international shirt of your choice. And on top of this, we have extended the registration deadline to October 30th. So make sure you sign up now to be in with a chance of winning a copy of the latest FIFA 23. Also, head over to our website and social media posts to find out more about where you can find the registration link.
Yeah, fantastic. I will definitely be looking forward to that E-World Cup tournament. So, as we look forward to a new season of grassroots football across the county, we are promoting the message, enough is enough, making it clear that action will be taken against those who ruin the game for others.
Yeah, definitely. And for all the good that football can bring, sadly last season at all levels of the game, there were too many examples of unacceptable behaviours that had a negative impact on football.
Yes, it's only a small minority of people that act in this way, but these individuals really can spoil the game for everyone, causing children and young people to not want to play, referees and volunteers to drop out, and ultimately spectators to stop supporting their team. So we all have a responsibility in setting the right standard of behaviours in the game, and we need everyone to play their part so that we can make this season a brilliant one for all. So that rounds off Sorry Summarised. Thank you for tuning into the new Final Whistle official Surrey FA podcast. We hope you enjoyed hearing about Isaac's journey and experiences as a referee, along with what can be done to improve opportunities for BAME individuals, and equally hearing the football results and updates from across the county. Make sure you tune in on Thursday the 3rd of November for our next episode on the Unite Through Football campaign, where we'll be joined by PC Elliot Hartley and Awais Khan. Goodbye from everyone at Surrey FA, and see you next time.